And so it is with nations. The story of Israel is our story. When nations live for God, they live lives, they operate according to God's precepts and principles. You cannot murder millions of babies through abortion and think God's just going to turn a blind eye. In Florida alone, this past year, 65,000 abortions officially reported. Babies murdered. Now, what does God say about life and about the sanctity of life? Not what do we say, or what does Roe v. Wade say, or what does the Supreme Court say, or what do people say, or what's the public opinion, or what's politically correct. What does God say? I'm just talking about one issue. The story of Israel is very clear. Everything about Israel, and when you get to this point in time where the kingdom begins to collapse, there are things that can be said about Israel at this point in time, the time of Hezekiah, that are unequivocal. And post, when his son, we haven't even got there, but when his son gets into power, it gets even worse. You talk about an exile. No wonder they're going to be cast into exile in Babylon. No wonder they're going to be dispersed across the universe. No wonder their land is going to be given to foreigners. No wonder they're going to be owned by everybody else. Everything about God was under attack when it came to Israel. Number one, they rejected the very name of God. God's name is holy. God made that very clear from the beginning. Be very careful what it is that you do regarding my name. Because it's at my name that every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ alone is Lord. I might have mentioned just a week ago, preaching at Genesis, the most popular phrase even among our Christian young people today is OMG. And I'm hearing young people say OMG, and OMG stands for short, oh my God. And even Christian young people today are trying to get around the issue of desecrating the name of God by just simply saying OMG. It's not just what we speak, it's what we believe. These people rejected the very name of God. They rejected the very word of God. God spoke to Israel. Time without number, he said, this is the way, walk in it. And I've given you my word, and they said, we will not accept your word. Does God, through his word, have anything to say about the manner with which we conduct ourselves, our lives, our speech, our attitude, our heart? Does God have anything to say about marriage? Does he have anything to say about business? Does God have anything to say about worship? Does God have anything to say through his word about us? Oh, yes, he does. Israel rejected the very word of God, but they also rejected the very people of God. This passage makes it very clear. Even when God spoke and the king came and he presented the facts to them and he begged them, there were those that scoffed at the people of God. I've made this statement before and I will make it again. We're facing a presidential election in 2 years in the United States of America. This, the greatest nation that has ever existed, this beautiful land, from sea to shining sea, this place that has been so blessed, where God has poured out His blessings upon us in every regard. I should imagine that in the next several years, who knows, with all that goes on in our world, is it possible that a Muslim could be elected President of the United States? I dare say if somebody who ran for president in this country stood up and made a statement that they were an atheist, they could be elected President of the United States. An agnostic, I wouldn't be surprised if a Buddhist could get elected President of the United States. I wouldn't be surprised if an out-and-out pagan could be elected President of the United States. But if a man or woman were to run in this nation and were to stand on the platforms and go before the microphones and say, I want to be president and I will be president to all the people in this great nation, but I want you to know that I am a born-again believer. I fear in my heart that in this beautiful nation, that person has just declared themselves unelectable in these United States of America. That's what Israel did. They rejected the people of God. You better not anymore in this country claim to know Christ or to be a Christ follower and think you're going to get elected to something. They rejected the very worship of God. How pathetically unpopular it became that the people would go to the temple. How rapidly everything else became important.